Hey everyone, welcome to this video. In this video lecture, we are going to explore how to install NVIDIA drivers on Ubuntu 24.04. Now, installing NVIDIA drivers on your system unlocks a wide range of performance benefits such as enhanced gaming performance with realistic graphics and high-performance computing, which is ideal for a wide range of use cases. For example, scientific research, 3D modeling, and parallel computing tasks. Now, NVIDIA integrates with both Windows and Linux, and in this video, we will focus our attention to installing NVIDIA drivers on Ubuntu 24.04. Now, before going any further, ensure you have an instance of Ubuntu 24.04 with a supported NVIDIA GPU card. Also, ensure you have a sudo user configured. So, as you can see on your screen, we have an instance of Ubuntu 24.04, and to confirm this, I'm going to run the command hostname ctl and hit enter. So from the output, you can see we are running Ubuntu 24.04. All right. Moving on, you need to verify the version or the model of NVIDIA GPU card installed on your system. And to do so, simply run the command lspci, then grep-i NVIDIA. So this is going to search for the model or the version of NVIDIA GPU card on your system and hit enter. So from the output, you can see we are running GeForce MX 130 series. All right. Now, the other thing you need to do is to remove any old NVIDIA drivers on your system. And to do so, simply run the command sudo apt remove with the purge option, then specify NVIDIA like that and hit enter. So this is going to remove all the pre-existing or the old NVIDIA drivers. Okay. All right. The next step is to ensure that our system is up to date, and to do so, we are going to update the local package index by running the command sudo apt update and hit enter. So this is going to refresh the local package index on our system. And as you can see, this is now completed. All right. Now, moving on, we are going to add the restricted and multiverse repositories on our system. And we are doing this in order to access proprietary packages, including the NVIDIA drivers. All right. So to do that, run the command sudo add apt repository, then specify the repository name, in this case, multiverse, then hit enter. So here you'll be prompted to press enter. So I'm going to press enter to add the repository. And as you can see, this is ongoing and it will take just a few seconds. And we are done. All right. So in the same vein, you need to add the restricted repository. So here I'm going to specify restricted and hit enter. So once again, I'm going to hit enter to add the repository. So the next step is to update the local cache once again. So I'm going to run the command sudo apt update. So we're doing this in order to notify the system of the newly added repositories. So I'm going to hit enter, and this will synchronize the newly added repositories on our system. All right. Okay, so we are done. All right. Now the next step, we need to add the build essential packages. So this will add the necessary packages that will be required to build the NVIDIA drivers from source. And this will come in handy, especially when we will be installing NVIDIA drivers from a downloaded package from the NVIDIA website. All right. So to do so, run the command sudo apt install, then build essential like that. Then also add the Linux headers package. So here I'm going to specify Linux headers $, then uname -r. So this makes sure you download the Linux headers that are compatible with your Linux kernel and hit enter. So as you can see, in our case, the packages have already been installed and are already up to date. Okay. So the first method is using Ubuntu's built-in software and updates tool. All right. And this is the most recommended installation method owing to its simplicity. And this simplifies driver installation by automatically detecting your GPU and recommending the best drivers. All right. So here we're going to use the software and updates tool. And to launch it, you can run the command software properties GTK like that. Okay, so once you hit enter, you will be ushered into the software and updates too. So this is similar to just coming here and launching software and updates. Okay, so you can just launch it from here. Okay, so this will launch the software and updates interface, as you can see. All right, so from here you navigate to additional drivers tab, and this will pull or generate a list of NVIDIA drivers which are recommended for your system. So this is what you get. All right, so here I'm going to select the third option here, using NVIDIA driver meta package for NVIDIA driver 570. So this is the latest version at the time of recording this video. All right, so here what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to click apply changes. So you can choose whichever version you want, but as for our case, I'm going to select NVIDIA driver 570, and then I'm going to apply changes. So here your authentication will be required, so I'm going to supply my password and hit enter. All right, so as you can see at the bottom here, you can see applying changes. So just give it some time for this to finish. So at this point, I'm going to fast forward the video. The installation of the NVIDIA drivers is now complete, and as you can see here, we are being prompted to restart the system to complete the driver changes. So at this point, I'm going to click the restart button, which will reboot the system, and then we're going to carry on once the system successfully reboots. So the system has successfully rebooted. So now let's verify the installation of the NVIDIA driver package, and to do so, we're going to run the command NVIDIA -SMI and hit enter. So as you can see, we get this output in a tabular format. So as you can see here, we have NVIDIA installed, and we can check the driver version. So here you get 570.153.02. all right, so this successfully confirms that we have installed the NVIDIA drivers. All right, the other method of installing NVIDIA drivers on your system is by installing from the official NVIDIA website. Now, this method is recommended if you need a specific driver version, for example, for better features, or in case you have legacy hardware unsupported by Ubuntu's repository. So moving on, what you're going to do, head over to your web browser here and search for NVIDIA. All right. Now, in the results page, head over to this tab, which will take you to the NVIDIA drivers page. Okay, so here you're going to manually select your NVIDIA GPU version. Okay, so for example, here I'm using GeForce, and my driver is in the GeForce 100 series. Okay, so this is a version of the GPU card or vendor. All right, so here I'm going to select GeForce MX130, which is the specific model or version. So here be sure to select Linux 64-bit. all right, so these are my parameters or specifications for my GPU card. All right, so once you do that, click on find. So this is going to redirect you to the drivers page. Okay, so here you're going to see a summary of the driver version. So for example, you can see the driver version is 570.16. This is the release date, and this is the file size, which is quite large, that is 375.82 megabytes. So here you're going to click view, and from here you are going to select the download button, which will allow you to download the installation file. All right, but I already have this downloaded. All right, so if you go to my downloads folder here, you can see that we have the NVIDIA installation file. So once you have downloaded this file, okay, so now let's head over back to our terminal. Okay, so now the next step will be to disable Ubuntu's default open source Nouveau driver to prevent any driver conflicts. So to do so, you need to run the following commands. So you need to run this command here. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and paste it on the terminal. Okay, and hit enter. So here I'm going to authenticate using my password. All right, then secondly, I'm going to copy this command here. So I'm gonna copy the entire command and paste it on the terminal as well, and hit enter. All right, now once that is done, I'm going to update the grab configuration file. So I'm going to run sudo update init ramfs the -u option. Okay, so this will update the boot configuration file. And we are done. All right, now I'm going to head to the downloads folder. So I'm going to run cd then downloads, and this is the file we have downloaded. All right, now I'm going to run this, and to do so, first of all, I'm going to ensure that I have the execute permission. So I'm going to use the chmod command to assign the execute permissions. Okay, now I can use the ls-l command to ensure we have execute permissions, and as you can see, we have execute permissions. Okay, now to proceed, what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to run the command sudo then period sign / then NVIDIA, like that, and hit enter. So this will open a text-based installation wizard. All right, so as you can see, this is installing the NVIDIA drivers on your system. Okay, and as you can see, you appear to be running an X server, and installing the NVIDIA driver while X is running is not recommended, and in doing so, you may prevent the installer from detecting some potential conflict installation problems, and so it may not be possible to start new graphics application after a new driver is installed. So if you choose to continue the installation, it is highly recommended you reboot your computer after installation to use the newly installed driver. Okay, so here we are going to continue with the installation. So I'm going to select that and hit enter. So here you can see that an alternate method of installing NVIDIA was detected. All right, and this is usually provided by your distributor. So this we already saw in the first installation method. Okay, so here what you're going to do, you're simply going to continue or proceed with the installation. So I'm going to hit enter. So here you can see the nouveau kernel driver is currently in use by your system. This driver is incompatible with NVIDIA and must be disabled before proceeding. So I'm going to hit OK. And here you can see we have another prompt that nouveau can usually be disabled by adding files to the modprobe configuration directories, okay, and rebuilding the init of ramfs. So this one we have already done. Okay, so here you can see, would you like NVIDIA installer to attempt to recreate this modprobe configuration files for you? Okay, so here I'm going to just go with the default, which is yes, and I'm gonna hit enter. All right, and then here I'm going to continue with the installation. All right, so as you can see, now the installer is building the kernel modules, so just give it some time to finish. So here we are prompted to install NVIDIA's 32-bit compatibility libraries. So here I'm just going to hit yes, and here we are going to be asked whether we would like to register the kernel module sources with DKEMS, and this will allow DKEMS to automatically build a new model if your kernel changes later. So here once again I'm going to select yes. So as you can see, this is generating the DKEMS turbo file. So as you can see, the installer is unable to determine the path to install the library EGL vendor. Okay, so here I'm simply going to select OK. So here you can see the init ramfs will likely need to be rebuilt due to the following conditions. Okay, so NVIDIA installer attempted to disable Nouveau. So would you like to reboot the init RAMFS? So here I'm just going to select the default option. And finally, you can see the installation of NVIDIA Accelerated Graphics Driver for Linux 64-bit is now complete. And you can see this is the version 570.169. And this is the version we expect to see once we check the NVIDIA version. Okay, so here I'm just going to press enter, and here you can see we are being prompted to reboot our computer after exiting the installer. Okay, so here we are going to hit enter. All right, so now from this step I'm going to reboot the system. The system has successfully rebooted. Now let's check the version of NVIDIA drivers installed. So once again, I'm going to run the command NVIDIA SMI, and as you can see, we have the driver version of 570.169, which is what we have installed moments ago. And this confirms that the installation was successful. All right. Now, just before we move on, if you want to uninstall the drivers which were installed manually like we've done, what you need to do is to go back to the downloads folder, okay, and run the command sudo like that, then NVIDIA like that, then with the uninstall option. Okay, so this is what you do when you want to manually or remove the NVIDIA drivers that you have installed manually from the NVIDIA website. So I'm gonna hit enter and authenticate. So this is going to perform the uninstallation process, as you can see on my terminal, and it should take just a few seconds to complete. Okay, so as you can see, if you plan to no longer use the NVIDIA driver, you should make sure that no X screens are configured. All right, so here I'm just going to, you can see, to attempt a restoration of the original X configuration file. So I'm just going to select no. So here you can see the uninstallation is in progress. So as you can see, it's uninstalling NVIDIA graphics driver from your system. Okay, so here you can see there's a warning, failed to restore some backend files and symlinks. Okay, so I'm just going to hit enter. And as you can see, the uninstallation is completed. All right, so here I'm just going to hit enter to exit. And once again, for the changes to take effect, you need to reboot the system. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to reboot the system. The third method of installing NVIDIA drivers is by using a PPA, and in this instance we are going to use the Graphics Drivers PPA. Now, a PPA, which is short for a Personal Package Archive, is a third-party repository that is hosted on Launchpad. Now, the Graphics Drivers PPA provides newer NVIDIA drivers before they reach Ubuntu's official repositories. So to get started, begin by adding the repository or the PPA, and to do so, run the command sudo add apt repository, then PPA. So here I'm going to specify the name of the PPA, which is graphics-drivers, then / PPA, and hit enter. So this is what you'll see on your screen. So you'll see a description of the PPA, and you can brush over the information on your screen. Now to proceed with adding the PPA, simply hit enter. So this is going to add the PPA, and we are done. So the next step is to refresh the local cache. So run the command sudo apt update and hit enter. All right, okay. Now the next step is to choose the drivers to install, and to do that, run the command Ubuntu -drivers, then devices, then hit enter. So on your screen, you'll find recommendations of the drivers to install. Okay, so as you can see here, you can see that in this section here, you can see the driver that has been recommended here. So you can see here we have the recommended label. So we are going to install this specific NVIDIA driver. Okay, Now to do so, you can run the command sudo apt install, then the driver name. So in this case, it's NVIDIA -driver, then -570, like that. Okay, so I'm gonna hit enter, and this will install this particular driver. So to proceed, I'm going to type on my keyboard and hit enter. And there you go. So as you can see, the installation of the drivers is now complete. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to reboot my system, and we will resume once the system has successfully rebooted. Now we have successfully rebooted the system. Now let's confirm the installation of the NVIDIA drivers, and to do that, run the command NVIDIA -smi and hit enter. So as you can see, we have successfully installed the version that we chose to install, which is NVIDIA version 570.153. Okay, so we have successfully installed the NVIDIA drivers using the graphics PPA. All right. In this last installation method, we are going to demonstrate how to install NVIDIA drivers from the CUDA PPA. Now, CUDA is short for Compute Unified Device Architecture, and this accelerates AI and scientific computing workloads. You need to install CUDA Toolkit and the compatible drivers in order to use NVIDIA GPUs for machine learning or other heavy tasks. All right. So the first step, we'll download the pin file that helps prioritize the CUDA repository. So I have saved the commands for installing NVIDIA using CUDA. So we are going to run the first command here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it on the terminal. So this is going to download the pin file that prioritizes the CUDA repository. So here I'm going to hit enter to download the file. Okay. And to confirm its download, I'm going to use the ls command. Okay. So as you can see, this is the file here. All right. Okay. So the second step, we are going to move the pin file to the required directory so that it gets the proper priority. So to do so, I'm going to copy this command here. Okay. So I'm going to copy this command and paste it here. Okay. All right. So now we are going to download the CUDA repository package from NVIDIA, and this comes in form of a Debian file. So here I'm going to copy this command here. So this will download the NVIDIA Debian package from CUDA. All right. So here I'm going to hit enter, and this will download the CUDA package. Okay. So as you can see, this is quite a big file. As you can see, this is 3.9 gigabytes. All right. So at this point, I'm going to pause this video, and we're going to resume once the download is complete. And there you go. So the download of the Debian package is finally complete. All right. So now once the download is complete, we are going to install this package by running the command sudo dpkg with the -i option. Then I'm going to specify the name of the file, which is CUDA, like that, and hit enter. So here I'm going to authenticate using my password and hit enter. So as you can see, the installation of CUDA is underway. And there you go. So the installation of the package has been successful. All right. So here at the very end, you can see that the public CUDA repo does not appear to be installed. And to install the key, run this command. Okay. So we are going to run this command. So I'm going to copy this command here. I'm going to copy the entire command. So let me highlight this all the way. Okay. So here I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to run it. I'm going to paste it and run it. Okay. All right. So now once that is done, I'm going to update the local package index so that it includes the newly added repository. And to do so, I'm going to run the command sudo apt update and hit enter. All right. So now once that is done, let's now install the CUDA toolkit version. And in this case, we're going to install the toolkit version 12.8. Okay. So now I'm going to clear the screen, and I'm going to install it by running the command sudo apt install CUDA toolkit -12-8 and hit enter. Okay, so as you can see, you need an additional of roughly 8.4 gigabytes. Okay, so ensure you have sufficient disk space for this operation. All right, so here I'm going to type Y and hit enter. So this will take quite some time, so just be patient and wait it out. So I'm going to fast forward the video. And there you go. So as you can see, the installation of CUDA toolkit is now complete. All right, so now the only thing remaining is to install the drivers. So there are two ways of doing this. So first, you can run the command sudo apt install NVIDIA -open, like that. So this command will install the open kernel module flavor. All right, okay. So the other way, you can install the legacy kernel module flavor. Okay, so to do so, you can run the command sudo apt install CUDA -drivers. Okay, so this command installs the legacy kernel module flavor, and this is what you're going to go with. So I'm just gonna hit enter, and this is what you have. So I'll press Y on the keyboard and hit enter to install the drivers. And there you go. So all the necessary drivers have been installed. All right, so once again, at this point, I'm going to reboot the system, and we will resume once the system has successfully rebooted. Okay, the system has successfully rebooted, and now let's confirm the NVIDIA drivers version. So to do so, once again, run the command NVIDIA -smi and hit enter, and once again we can see the familiar output. So here you can see we have installed NVIDIA 570.133.20 as we had expected. All right, and there you go. So in this video, we have walked you through the installation of NVIDIA drivers on Ubuntu 24.04, and we have explored various ways of doing this, both graphically and via the command line. So that's it, guys, for this video. In case you found this helpful and insightful, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more of this Linux content. So that's it for this video. See you in the next lecture.